Secretary Fontes, thanks for being here.
Happy to be here,
You
Jen.
got so dressed up for us. I appreciate that.
Well, I got dressed up for the shindig across the street.
Let me dream.
But I like you
Dream.
guys enough anyway to wear it in here.
All right, so let me ask you to start off with, we've heard now from Maricopa County that the counting of the early ballots, the mail-in ballots, is apparently slower than normal. They're going to report about 1.1, 1.2 million ballots after 8 o'clock. That's less. Some are saying that's only through about Tuesday of last week, October 29th, where normally we'd get through Friday, if not more. What do you know about that, and why is it slowed down so much?
Well, here's so first and foremost, we've got 2 ballots inside of each of these envelopes.
2 pages.
Second, 2 ballot pages. Okay, so there's 2 physical pieces of paper that they have to inspect in each envelope versus just 1, and that inspection is really time consuming. And as it stands right now, you get even an experienced board. That's going to be one person of a different party from the other sitting across the table. It's going to take them the better part of an hour to do 200 ballots.
Wow.
And so extrapolate that out into the several millions that are going to be turned in, and it's going to just take a long time. And look, here's the thing. And we've been saying this for years and years and years, our elections are more secure than just about anybody else's, and our processing of these ballots is so complete that and it's so detailed. It takes a long time. So, it's just going to take some time. Folks are going to just have to be patient for these results. Everybody wants to know right away. I mean, I get it. The world of instant gratification, where you can have a Snickers bar delivered to your dorm room instantaneously. That's not what elections are about. We want to get it done right.
So I have a question. Are we at the point where we need to make changes in the law in Arizona? Would you support some way of changing how we vote so that we weren't waiting days, if not weeks, for results?
Well, you don't have to change the law. You got to change the attitude at the state legislature.
Okay.
I mean, these guys want everything on the absolute cheap, and then they complain when they don't get the product that they want.
Okay.
Right? They're paying for a Yugo. They want a Rolls Royce, and I'm dating myself with that reference.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about it. Even with our computer systems and the issues that we are having with that motor vehicle division, these knuckleheads want to do everything on the absolute cheap as humanly possible, we've heard people say in the past. Well, that's the result you're going to get. And if the counties don't have the resources, even cash-rich Maricopa County, right, they're not going to be able to support the activities that these folks demand. I don't want to hear a single one of these legislators that's willing to cut budgets and cut budgets and cut budgets. I don't want to hear them complaining about this. This is their fault over the long haul. They're not giving these counties the resources they need. They don't give my department the resources that it has need for several generations of Secretary of State. This is a many-year-long effort to starve government of resources, and this is what you get. So you get what you ask for, and they want it cheap. They're going to get it slow.
Is there any discussion between the Secretary of State's office and the legislature to make it where your mail-in ballot has to be received by Friday or Saturday before Election Day, which would allow generally the counties to count them earlier and we'd be able to finish the count much earlier?
I would oppose that 100%. There's no reason to reduce access just because we don't want to pay the resources we need to get the results that we want. Okay, so what you're basically doing is you're reducing the voters' ability to vote the way that they want and when that they want, when they're already doing it, in exchange for what? Faster results? Come on.
Isn't that the fundamental question, is that if you want to provide voters with unlimited choices, which we pretty much have in this state,
we have amazing choices.
It is going to take time and or more resources to count.
But let's just listen to ourselves for a minute. The only issue on this entire discussion is that we want results faster. You know what? I get it. Y'all in the media, radio, TV, newspaper, everybody just wants results faster. And listen,
we're not talking fraud. We're not talking any of the other.
We just want, that's the big frustration. Thank goodness. But here's the other thing. I got to tell, and this drives me nuts when people go, well, how come France can do it? Well, France doesn't have the type of election security that we have. How come they can do it in Taiwan? In just a couple of hours. Well,
I doubt they also have a 4-page ballot.
Well, not only that, but in Taiwan and in these other countries, you might be voting for one person only, and they appoint everybody else in your government.
Yeah.
Everybody else in your government.
Easier to count the one vote.
Yeah, you count the one vote. Moreover, do they have absentee voting? No. In Taiwan, if you're not in your home precinct with your government-issued ID between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., you don't vote. That's it. You can be in the Foreign Service in Washington, D.C. at the Taiwanese Embassy. You don't vote.
Wow.
You could be out there in uniform risking your life. You don't vote. But here in America, we value our vote. We just don't pay for faster process.
Fair enough.
Let's
Fair
be
enough.
clear.
It's just like our schools. Secretary of State Adrian Fontes is with us live in studio here on KTAR. Let me ask you this. Today's vote, in-person voting in Arizona today,
Yep.
I know something happened in Apache County. Can you talk to us about that? And overall around the state, it seems like it went a lot smoother than a couple of years ago.
Oh, it's gone very, very smoothly. And I think a lot of that has to do with, I will give my team a bit of credit that they deserve. We came in and we built a team that had experienced election administrators from the counties. And so we helped them get the resources and the training that they need. What happened, and so we've seen really good results across all of the counties in Arizona, and I feel really good about that. And so my team gets a ton of credit for that. Not me particularly, but I'll take it if you want to give it to me. But in Apache County, we did have some technical issues, not just with the voter check-in system, but with some of the printers up there. And so 9 of the precincts in Apache County are going to remain open for 2 more hours.
Okay.
We are into this first of 2 additional hours. And if you indulge me, just for the public out there, we're talking about Shinley, Cottonwood, Denahotso, Fort Defiance, Lukachukai, Lupton, Rock Point, St. Michael's, and Wheatfields got a court order. The Navajo Nation sued Apache County, asking the court to give them 2 more hours. They get 2 more hours. That does not change the fact that the rest of the counties will be reporting as usual at about 8 p.m.
Secretary Fontes, I have a question also. I know that there was reports earlier today about some sort of an emailed bomb threats or threats towards polling stations. Can you address that?
Yeah, that's actually gotten a little bit worse in the last
really?
hour and a half or so. We have more of almost the exact same types of threats. The individual counties working not only with federal officials, our office, but their local law enforcement agencies are interacting with all of those support networks the way that those counties see fit. Again, Arizona is a bottom-up election administration space. We do believe, as I indicated earlier in a press briefing, that this is foreign-sourced influence. And the attempt isn't for political outcome, but to cause chaos, to make people doubt, to drive us one another away from each other as Americans. This is what our foreign adversaries want. They want us to hate each other. They want us to despise one another because they can't beat us militarily. They can't beat us economically. The only way they can beat us is if we're beating each other up all the time. And so this is part of that sowing of chaos that they're attempting to do.
Foreign source, do we have any idea what country?
What we do know is that the emails originated from a .ru email address. That doesn't necessarily mean, and we cannot confirm, that it is a Russian a source that used that .ru email address. But all indications are, from what I've understood, it's pointing in that direction, but that's not been confirmed.
Thank you.
Secretary of State Adrian Fontes with us here on KTAR. Talk about turnout a little bit in Arizona today for in-person voting. How did it look? How did it compare?
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
More than the recent cycles.
I think in-person turnout was close to the recent cycles, but our early vote turnout was pretty good. I think we were beating 2020 as of a day and a half ago. I've honestly been not looking specifically at that number, although I knew that was going to be a question, so I should have checked on that when I got here. But no, I think Arizonans are excited to vote. I'll tell you right now, there are probably still Arizonans standing in line to vote in a variety of different places. You know, it's taking a little longer with this longer ballot. Folks are taking their time and making their decisions. If you are in line still, stay in line. Because in Arizona, when the polls close at 7 p.m., the marshal goes and walks to the end of the line. That last person at 7 p.m. is the last person who gets to vote. So we will continue to respect those folks and get their voices counted.
We should get that last voter. It's like the Mr. The last
Like
pick in the draft.
Mr.
Right?
Irrelevant in the NFL draft.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We should
who's
get
the
that
last voter in line?
But you know what? That's the most. I'm gonna no. That's the most dedicated. Right?
Yeah.
That's the hero voter.
There you go.
Right. That's the person who showed up at the last second, ran into the back of the line, maybe tackled the marshal.
A little bit of procrastination.
Yeah.
You know what? That's okay.
They
We're going to give them the kudos that they deserve.
They worked all day. They ran over there. Secretary of State Fontes, thank you. I know you're heading over to the Democratic Party.
I am going
party.
to take off my official hat and put on my Democratic Party member hat for the evening.
Well, after you've had a couple of beers, if you see anything you want to report over there, KTAR.
Here's the
Specifically
bummer.
if you've had a couple
here's
of
the
beers.
worst thing. I think I've got a media hit at like 11, so I might have one drink tops.
Okay, we're going to be watching.
It's insane.
KTAR's got a setup over there. If you find something, come over. We'll bring you right on the air live, and you can report it for us.
Here.
Happy to do it with you.
Thanks for being here. I
Thank you,
appreciate that.
gentlemen.